Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all of you. You are welcome here on the Awakening Tech Tribune, Consciousness. This is the headline of international news. Unfortunately, many media outlets do not talk about it, especially Western media. They do not mention it because, once again, it is very good news that angers. It is very good news. The Alliance of Sahel States, AES, which was born here before our eyes, following this true revolution of mindsets, practices, and institutions. This alliance, for which many thought the efforts would end in a resounding failure, this alliance is today proving the complete opposite of what the enemies of Africa's sovereignty thought. The Alliance of Sahel States has expressed its desire to abandon the CFA franc. This is despite themselves. Until now, they are still in the CFA zone, despite themselves. But you know, monetary issues require a lot of analysis, a lot of precautions before embarking on them. It's not just about printing banknotes without backing the currency with real value, without considering other administrative and economic procedures, both macro and microeconomic, that can help ensure a strong currency. That's why the AES is proceeding slowly and surely. Since January 16th, 2025, an interministerial meeting between the various ministers of economy and finance and the foreign ministers of the AES has taken place. And this interministerial meeting aimed to plan the path, to lay out the path for the creation of a regional bank, common to the 3 member states of the AES. So, the objective, obviously stated, is how to see as much as possible to get rid of the francs ever. We have seen the AES, which has expressed its intention to break away from the ECOWAS passport. Many mocked the AES by saying, you claim to be a confederation, yet you don't have your own passport. The heads of state of the AES were not in a rush. They did everything correctly. And today, the AES has its own passport. Even if some states wanted to sabotage, such as France. So, the path they have taken towards the Sahel Investment Bank will succeed, inevitably, because we have before us heads of state who proceed slowly but surely. So, what are the prospects? What proves that the AES will soon be able to establish this investment bank? And what is planned within the framework of cooperation activities within the framework of this investment bank? Even aside from the issue of abandoning the CFA franc, this is what we will discuss in this video conference, ladies and gentlemen. Before continuing, if you are new here, my name is Robert Théa. I am a lecturer and researcher at the law faculty in the largest university of the Republic of Guinea, called the General Lansana Conté University of Symphonia Conakry. I am the president of the newly formed political party in Guinea, which we created called the Citizens Party in the service of the Republic. My broadcasts here on the Tribune of Awakening Consciousness, as the name suggests, are to awaken consciousness. It's to enable Africans to understand the existential realities of their time, of our time, and to be able to make decisions which are the right ones. Because if we do not know what is happening around us, as young Africans, we cannot make good decisions because we do not know what is going on. That is why I take my free time to record this video conference for you. So don't hesitate to subscribe, invite your friends to subscribe, share the video conference, and leave lots of interactions. So let's dive deep, ladies and gentlemen. It is an investment bank with a starting capital, which amounts to 196.196 billion to propel the development of the A states. So, according to the information, work is underway so that within 9 months, the Alliance of Sahel States can proceed with the official launch of its own investment bank, which will be equipped with a strategic institution. So, the shares will be distributed equally between Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. The creation of such a bank will mark a new step towards financial autonomy and sustainable development. What should be noted about this bank is that one cannot claim to have independence, political independence, without having economic independence. Even if we spend all our time shouting, we are sovereign, if we do not have economic sovereignty, we are not sovereign. Our political decisions will be subject to economic decisions. This is what is happening to Ukraine. Volodymyr Zelensky wanted to stand firm, but financially, he does not have the means to support his policy. He is therefore forced to submit to the United States of America. And this is what the AES does not want, to submit to global powers. The AES wants to determine itself, wants its self-determination. The AES, obviously, wants to make decisions that are specific to its territory without the influence of other external powers, even if it means collaborating in partnership with other states. That is why this bank is coming into existence, not just the act of abandoning the CFA franc. That is a given. As long as these three heads of state are leading these three countries, the CFA franc will disappear. But it must be done step by step, gradually. So, what is the major objective of this revolutionary initiative, aside from what we have just discussed? Firstly, they want to develop transportation infrastructure. There should no longer be barriers between Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. The construction of railways that will allow the residents of Bobo-Dioulasso to travel quickly to Bamako in 30 to 40 minutes, and vice versa. And when transportation is developed, it effectively contributes to the development of the nation. This is what helps other states. You go to the United Arab Emirates, how many countries are united, yet you don't see any borders. And then it circulates freely and quickly. The roads are good. So, one of the major objectives of this bank is that please share the video conference and give it many likes. Secondly, it will be about strengthening. There you go. So, firstly still, developing transportation infrastructure, especially the railways connecting the three countries. So it's very clear, it's very precise. Secondly, it will be about strengthening energy capacities to accelerate industrialization. Strengthening energy capacities. Energy, power, electricity. Today, in other developed countries, electricity is no longer a problem. When you have power, even the good lady with a small fridge can put water in, freeze it, and then sell it. Energy development is the foundation of a nation's development, as it encourages the creation of small and medium-sized enterprises. And all of this happens when there is a synergy of action on behalf of a bank that will be the regional bank of France. So, it is to facilitate the free movement of people and goods to address, which will be a pillar, I would say, of a successful economic integration. Yes. When people move freely, you have corn from Burkina Faso. You take the train, you transport it directly to Niger. You go to sell, because if the Nigerians need it, you go to sell. After 2 hours, you take your train, you return to Burkina Faso in the blink of an eye. All this leads to economic development. But let me tell you, such projects, which are expensive, but not as expensive as that. Faced with United States, these are the kinds of projects that Westerners, the imperialists, have never wanted us to be able to undertake on our territories. In reality, they have always opposed our development. Because if we develop, we have wealth, raw materials, we have our soils which are rich. If they let us develop, we will surpass them. We will become the superpowers, even in the matter of nuclear. They will not be able to stand against us. That's why they have always wanted to block us. That's why many wonder why they are against the AES. It's because they see that the leaders of the AES have a different mentality, unlike the puppets they have always used. So, The other upu element is the massive investment in sectors like agriculture, fishing, and livestock to ensure food self-sufficiency and the prosperity of the populations. You see, we have arable land, cultivable land. Go to Morocco right nearby. They don't have cultivable land. If you see trees in Morocco, it's because they planted them. They go pay elsewhere, they come to plant, they water. You go to the United Arab Emirates, where I was recently, they pay for plants elsewhere. They plant, and then they have pipes to water. That is to say, there are specific times to water these plants, so they can have plants, since their lands are not arable, their lands are not cultivable. But they fight persistently. And we, God has given us this gift. We have arable land. Even if in the Sahel region, we will need irrigation. And here in Burkina Faso, we saw last time a new policy that the president implemented, which allows for irrigation. The crops, I was going to say. So overall, here is the essence of what this bank will bring to the three states. Here is the good news. And this good news angers. Who does it anger? It angers the imperialist power that has always wanted to see us at the mercy of their service. And so, dear ladies and gentlemen, we could have said enough, but I don't want to take much of your time. I just have to say thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you for sharing this video conference as much as possible. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the notification bell. Invite your friends to subscribe to the page. I will get back to you shortly with new updates. This was the voice of your one and only samurai.